we've got what ought to be a great matchup between the Oakland Raiders and the Cleveland Browns.
Ass.
So with that, let's get up to First Energy Stadium in Cleveland for the call. We welcome in our broadcast team, Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
Okay, Coach, so the folks here, they are bundled up, but they're ready for football as you get a look at First Energy Stadium in Cleveland, Ohio. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Oakland Raiders and the Cleveland Browns. Hi again, everyone, with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, we look at this Browns ball club. They come in playing pretty good football. Winners of 4 of their last 6 games. On the other side of the field for the visiting Raiders, they come in on a good run. Winners of 5 of their last 7.
Let's see what happens today.
Here we go. The final week of the NFL season. Week 17 is underway. This is fielded at the goal line. Solid return. Pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. So here comes the Raiders offense now onto the field. They'll be led out by their quarterback, a product of NC State. It's Jacoby Brissett.
And despite the 3 touchdown passes he threw, there's a lot to work on this week, wasn't there?
Oh, ton of interception.
Yeah, I mean, when you're going really with almost a 1-to-1 ratio, that's not going to work for you well at all. Not over the long haul. The beauty, though, somehow found a way to win.
Yeah, they still got the win last week. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. First carry for Josh Jacobs. 5 yards on the game's first play, 2nd down. On your screen now, here are the offensive starters. At wideout, Antonio Brown is certainly someone that the defense always has to account for.
Without a doubt, a true #1 receiver. It doesn't matter to him how defenses want to cover him. He sees it as a challenge and knows how to defeat them.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. On 2nd down, Jacobs. They'll take this one for about 4 up to the 40. A look now at the defensive starters for Cleveland. They're going to need to be strong against the run in this one.
They're not an elite unit. They're not, as what you'd say, the top part of the league against the run. They're a solid group, though. They do a good job. What they're looking for in this one, though, is an elite performance.
An early test, 2 plays in. This is 3rd and 2. Brissett.
Oh my God.
Together and it's incomplete. Excellent work defensively, brings up 4th down. So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
And a great job here. This is going to turn out to be a beauty. This is marked down at about the 3-yard line.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. A 1st down throw from Mayfield. He's got the hook up to Odell Beckham. The numbers for Beckham in last week's effort. He was pretty prophetic. He said before that game, I want to get in the end zone often. He got there 3 times.
Yeah, it's one thing to catch a lot of footballs. That is important, but it's what you do after the catch that can make you great. And he had a great game last week.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. They'll run for the first time with Johnson. And able to get it here to about the 16-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20-point score gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So that's caught at the 25.
Fuck. That was ugly.
84 yards as his guys are able to strike first here in this
That was fucking ugly.
An ideal start for them, really. You force the punt, and then you go down and score.
And you've got to see a fist pump on the sideline from the head coach, don't you? Because he's turning to his bench, and he's telling his team, this is how we prepare. Force the punt, go downfield and score. I told you guys, it's just like a boxer in the gym, preparing for the fight. Now we get to turn it all loose.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And they'll certainly be trying to do better than that first drive where they went 3 and out.
And sometimes the first drive is just simply to settle nerves.
Oh my God.
It's Ha-Ha Clinton-Dix with a pick.
Well, they didn't exactly show patience there, did they? Just down the score, they come out firing right away and compound things by throwing an interception. They put their defense in a really tough spot.
The Browns drive about to get started. Now they'll be looking to duplicate the efforts of drive number 1 that resulted in 7 points in the 7-zip lead.
Well, you know how much I enjoy horse racing, right? Looks like they caught a flyer out of the gate, as they would say when you're running the big-time races. It means they get out to a fast start. They're setting the pace, making the other team chase now.
So second down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43. Here's Johnson. And 3 yards there takes him to the 45.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on first down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on second.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in an expected passing situation.
Let's go, baby.
He goes down. Reese Hurst. He's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. And they weren't in zone coverage. They were in man, and each man did his job.
And that looked like vintage, old-school coverage, didn't it? Man coverage reminded me of an old Raiders team. They had a Hall of Famer in one corner and a defensive player of the year in the other, and they just locked people down.
Come on, Renfro.
Went on to kick as he sends it away. That's fielded at the 8-yard line.
Oh my gosh.
Give him 11 yards that time on return. And the Raiders will take over now, 1st and 10. Now we get a peek at the captain of this offense heading back out there. And he'll need to find a way to shrug off the opening drive, if you can even call it a drive. 1 play and an interception, so he's got to forget that.
I know that in today's football, we have a good number of coaches who don't look at time of possession. The old school guys did.
Oh my God.
Pressure gets to him that time, and he's
This is
gonna go
horrible.
down.
This is
Myles
fucking
Garrett,
horrible.
he continues to wreak havoc in the offensive backfield. Sack number 16 on the year.
Shut
Well,
up.
so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
Meanwhile, here's a second down throw that's knocked away and incomplete. The tight end, Luke Wilson, was the target, and that'll make it 3rd down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Here's Brissett. Catch is made by Hunter Renfrow. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 15. They do get 9, but it leads to 4th down.
I think that call was made not so much to try and get the first down, although they would have taken it if they could have gotten it, but to give their punter a little bit of space and try and help out their defense.
Yeah, got the safe completion on 3rd. Punt team on now as this one's set away. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Browns will take over 1st and 10. Heading out as the Cleveland offense now as they get set to take over here. They've got a 7-0 lead in the football as well as they start out 1st and 10. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. They begin the drive Johnson. And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41.
Come on, Riley.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
Off and on, here's Johnson. And they see right through that defensively as he'll be hit and taken down to the backfield. Good opening quarter for him. Remember, he had the sack earlier. Now a tackle for loss, another tackle for loss.
He's really making it tough on the play caller, though, isn't he? Because it's one thing to try and adjust when a guy is disrupting your running game. But when he's messing up your passing game as well, then you have to devote at least a second guy to try and keep him away from their boys.
Now throwing on third down there, but he cannot connect.
I think the punter might start to get into a pretty good rhythm here if he keeps getting opportunities. But that's the last thing his team wants to have happen, right? The last thing you want to see is your punter feeling pretty good because he's out there all the time.
First quarter only, but they're 0 for 2 on third down conversions to start this thing.
Yeah, run for a little slow.
Too far for breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. And now Oakland ready to take the field. And 3 and out on the last drive. No points on the scoreboard. Soul searching now?
I would say so, and they need to help out their defense a little bit. They've had to be on the field a lot longer than normal, put them in some tough spots. But what's the old adage? When you get another chance, it gives you a better chance to do it right. They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And he'll be corralled well upfield right around the 40-yard line. A gain there of 21 yards.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. In that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players. Somehow came to football. That's really good for the game of football. You get better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination. Guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes. When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on second down.
From the 44, incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's third down. So it can't hang on, and as I watch that unfold, I remembered an expression that I've heard, maybe from you, I don't know, but you're going to get hit anyways, might as well hold on to the ball.
Well, you know a coach said that, right?
Yeah.
Not an actual player. Not a chance at all. Way easier said than done.
On third down, Brissett. He gets it to Brown, complete. And he takes this way down, deep into Cleveland territory. A big play that time for the Raiders, 42 yards. So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. The Raiders into the red zone for the first time. They have a 1st and 10 at the 13-yard line. Richard trying the right side. Now this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, gotta like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a 1st down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
Watch twist. Watch twist. Shoot. Watch the shoot. Check 52.
Not even a chance to pitch that one as he's swallowed up in the backfield. That's going to go down as a loss of 5, and it brings up 3rd down.
Well, that's the big drawback to this play. Even if somehow the quarterback pitches it, he's not immune to the big hit. In this case, he kept it and absorbed it anyway.
Brissett, and he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. Luke Wilson, his 11th touchdown of the year. as they are now on the board here in the first half.
The big fella was the recipient there for that touchdown pass, and it seems like more and more the tight end is the guy you have to worry about most in the passing game.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And we are tied at 7. So that drive takes him down the field in 8 plays. And it ends with an Oakland touchdown. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. Gets fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you called before and realize it hasn't worked
Go to something else.
Maybe try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area. And that was the safety that came through and made the play, but there's no doubt in my mind, he hits like a linebacker. We see a lot of that in today's NFL, don't we?
And that time we do indeed. A big hit for a loss. On 2nd and 11 now. Mayfield is caught by OBJ. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Big yardage there for the Browns, 18. That's the number 2 receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage. And tell you what, a few more plays like that, he won't be number 2 for long.
But that's what often happens when you have competitors running around the field. These guys know where they stand in relationship to yardage, totals, numbers, the whole deal. And let's face it, all of them, they all want to be number 1.
Play action now. Here's Mayfield. He finds his target, Beckham. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. That one nearly 30 yards, 29 officially. He had his eyes on 200 yards last week, earned an AFC Offensive Player of the Week. And he was really, really good. Fun to watch back in tape with you.
It was fun to watch, wasn't it? He's trying to have the same type of a game in this one. But what was fun watching was how he read the defense. No matter what they presented, he had an answer for it, and that's why he was open during that game.
On 2nd down, Johnson. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3-and-out.
They stay on the ground on first with Johnson. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Gary and Conley, the one to bring him down. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Now Johnson. So a nice job to break the 1 tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. It'll be a pickup of 5, and that leaves him with 5 more. 3rd and 5 now.
I think we can safely say that those types of plays are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but you know they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
Now Mayfield, complete. It's Johnson. And he has the first down before he's tackled at the 5. It's a gain of 6 as they're able to convert, and now it's 1st and goal. Well, they've had a great, impressive drive going here, and that pickup ensures the drive continues.
And not only do you continue the drive, which is demoralizing for the guys on the defense side of the ball right now, but you make your own defense happy. They're able to get a little more rest over on the sidelines while this one continues downfield.
They'll get 2 out of that run, and it's going to bring up a 2nd and goal. 2nd and goal from inside the 5. To Johnson again. And he gets halfway home from the 4 down to the 2-yard line. We've hit the 2-minute mark of the first half. All knotted up at 7. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here. And Njoku puts this one in. He's got it for a Cleveland touchdown. David Njoku. His 6th touchdown of the season, and the Browns have taken the lead. There was no going through the progressions on that touchdown pass.
Yeah, nor was it necessary. His receiver won that route early, presented himself. No reason to wait. Go ahead and put it on him and score a touchdown.
Extra point by Seibert, up and good. And that makes the score 14-7. So that one a long 11-play drive. And it's capped off by the Browns touchdown. This is taken at his 4. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Back onto the field now comes the wideout Antonio Brown. As we find ourselves in Week 17, he's already well over the 1,000-yard mark. So there's no pressure there. We'll just see where this final tally ends.
And I love what you just talked about there. There's no pressure. There's pride, right? So the higher he can take that number and rank with his peers, everyone wants to be number 1. He wants to post that number like a good golfer, right? Post the best score and go to the clubhouse and kick back and see if anyone can match it.
Well, and he's the go-to guy here out wide. We'll see what they can do with him in this game. Defensively, they have a big challenge on their hands. They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. On the bootleg, it's Brissett. He's got a man complete. And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. 30 yards there. And, of course, the first down as well. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. Play action now. Brissett. He's going deep for Brown. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 11. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. And he may want to track down that football because that's interception number 1 on his career.
You're saying that's going into the trophy case?
I'd put it there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That's when you ask the equipment guys to make sure they hold it for you after the game. But if you play in the back 7 on defense, that's part of your job. Finding ways to take the ball away from the other team.
Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with exactly a minute to go before halftime. Throwing again on 2nd down. Mayfield. It's caught. Beckham. And able to get it across the 20 before they get to it. Now the Browns signal for the 2nd of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. Mayfield now 9 of 11 passing in this first half. He's got his guys at 1st and 10. Mayfield looks to throw underneath for Johnson. And he gets this one just shy of the 40 down at the 39. A good play there as the Browns strike for 16 and a first down.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there. Getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
The Browns will quickly use their 3rd and final timeout as the clock will stop at 20 seconds to go in the first half. Mayfield now over 200 yards already in this first half. It's 1st and 10. They'll throw again. Here's Mayfield. And that is intercepted. Or was it? Wait, they'll say
What?
no interception. He did not keep the feet in bounds, apparently. So that's just going to be an incompletion. So 2nd down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40. Johnson. Only a yard of the pickup there, so it leaves them needing a conversion here on 3rd and a tough 9. So we've come upon halftime here in Week 17. As we'll send you down to Orlando, we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thank you as always. Welcome into our final regular.
There you have it. Halftime quickly over. 3rd quarter, here we go. The final 2 quarters of the NFL regular season are upon us as the second half of Week 17 is underway. Fielded by Yogi. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. Here now, time to discuss Odell Beckham Jr. And as we look at the tape, he's getting... The Cleveland offense ready to go. They have the lead now. They'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
See if they do just that. And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1. The good run on first down followed up by a good run on second down.
Now let's find out if they're going to stick with the run here on 3rd down. A lot of people would love to see some play action here. I say go with your best running play over your best blocker.
They'll try and run for it. Here's Johnson. And he'll lose yardage here. Going down back at the 28. He loses 4. And it brings up 4th.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Pulled in at the 24. It'll be a 47-yard punt with a net of 40 following a 7-yard return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. So here comes the Raiders offense getting ready for their first possession of the second half. They're down in this game, a chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here at half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second half?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete.
What?
We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with him.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. 85 catches for him on the year now, and the result there is a 1st down.
Well, sometimes our pregame meetings do pay off, don't they? What do the guys in the locker room call him?
Well, they said it with a chuckle. They called him Old Reliable.
Yeah, that means he doesn't move quite as fast as he used to, but he still knows all the tricks, doesn't he? Even that little gentle push-off in order to get open, he finds a way to pick up a 1st down.
Looks like he's going to get a couple here on this 1st down carry, and that'll make it 2nd and 8. Sheldon Richardson there to make the play.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because when they're open, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
From just shy of midfield, Brissett. He's going to find and complete it to Renfro. And they're going to have another 1st down as he's going to be tackled at the Browns' 30.
Slant route's effective no matter who's running the route and catching the ball. But when you have a receiver of that stature, you have to be a little bit more precise throwing it. You don't have the same catch radius with the bigger targets.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Now again, right side. Richard. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. That one will go as a gain of 11. Raiders having a 1st down as well.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of the yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another 1st down with that run.
And he gets us inside the 10 to the 9. It's also a gain of 9.
That's a strong pickup right there on 1st down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
53, Mike, 53. Watch the slant, watch the slant. Let it go.
On 2nd and a yard.
No!
And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Picked up by the linebacker, Joe Schobert. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Wow, between last week and this week, that's now 8 interceptions. 5 a week ago, now 3 here.
Well, he is so lucky that one of the defense coordinators I played for, a man named Ken Donahue, is not there right now. Because he saw that happen during his coaching career, and he grabbed a quarterback in the midst of a streak like this.
Oh, that is
Okay,
going
we
to
got
be
a
a
safety.
safety.
Let's go, Crosby.
And Charles, at some point, you can't keep worrying about big play. Can this be perfect? You just have to get the ball out of the end zone.
And in the offensive huddle, that was discussed when they called the play. Just get out of the end zone. But you know what's interesting? A lot of the times in the defensive huddle, they actually call a set and then say at the end of it, get a safety. So it's preached, it's coached, it's thought about.
Free kick out of bounds. Kicking team.
So they will accept the penalty and move forward.
Automatic first down.
Dude, that's fucking...
Big series right here. We got 7
On the draw, Rashard. He takes this from the 30 to the 34.
Well, they did throw interceptions on their last 2 drives, so no surprise at all they decided to start it with a running play. I'm actually a little bit surprised, though, that they got as much out of it as they did.
Yeah, decent little gain. Puts them in a pretty good spot for second down. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Throwing, Brissett. And finding the tight end, Wilson. And he slips out past the 45 before being tackled. That one good for 13 and a Raider first down. Brissett now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. Now Brissett. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Brissett. Looking sideline, incomplete. Denzel Ward, Pro Bowler as a rookie there to bat that one away. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here. And we just saw another example. These cornerbacks have played tight coverage all game long. Might start wanting to think about a few double, triple move routes to try and shake their guys free.
You're right, they've had no room to breathe. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning. Hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. Here comes the Browns offense back onto the field. And they've got the lead here getting late into the 3rd quarter. And the passing game for them, it's been terrific. We've seen that. But the rushing game, almost non-existent.
And with the lead and trying to finish this game off, they need the running game to come back to life. They need to get sparked that way, take some time off the clock, and keep the ball away from their opponents.
The pass for negative yardage, obviously no good. Maybe he shouldn't have thrown it, or maybe he shouldn't have caught it.
And I think we were seeing it at the same time, weren't we? Maybe you let that one go, right? Because you can see the lost yardage about to develop. But that goes against every instinct of a receiver. They're taught to catch everything. So it's really hard to be mad at him and yell at him for trying to make that play. Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Mayfield from the gun on 3rd down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Maurice Hurst, make that now 8 sacks for him on the season. And we say it all the time, have to be able to get rid of the ball sooner than there.
You have to help your offensive line out. They're going to protect you as best they can. And if you get 3 to 5 seconds to throw the ball, they're doing a really nice job. But when you hold it and give up a sack, you're really almost discrediting their work.
A good return there, call it 13 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. And this will probably be the last play of the quarter. start out here with a jet sweep. And he'll go down, and that will do it for the third quarter of action. 1 quarter remains here as the regular season starts to wind down. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to second down.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
On 2nd and 12, we're set. The open man here, Renfro. 23 yards the pickup there.
Some think the teams really won't throw a slant route unless you have a receiver that has a lot of stature to him. But sometimes the little guys, they get lost in there. People can't really locate them, and they run that quick cut on the slant, and oftentimes they can turn it into big plays.
First down, Richard. And he'll get it down inside the 20 to the 18-yard line. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. They'll keep it on the ground. Richard.
Let's go, Let's go, baby.
Jalen Richard, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And once again, the Raiders are back out in front. Well, they ran the toss, trusting he had the speed to get to the edge, and he did.
And there really wasn't any doubt about that because the scouting report told you that this guy can flat out run. When you give him a little bit of space and a chance to get there, he usually does.
I'm sorry, guy. Coach, I'm not gonna. No.
Carlson on for the PAT. And the lead is now 2. Plays there on that drive. And it ends on the Jalen Richard touchdown run.
I don't know, I should have won.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This one taken just inside the 10. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. Charles, this one not over, certainly, but you set the magic number earlier in this game at 20 points. Said that they would need to hold them right around that marker under it. What are you seeing here?
Well, that number is still in play because we said, okay, 20 or under gives them a chance to win. Right on pace for being in that range. And guess what? They've got a shot.
And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. Just what the Browns needed there. Good for a gain of 17. So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. From the gun, Mayfield. And the catch made by Johnson. It's a 4-yard pickup, and it's a 2nd down. Mayfield down. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd. The Browns on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. And again, it's Mayfield. And that is incomplete.
Let's go.
hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything to warrant the flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. Now the Oakland offense heading back onto the field to take over. They're holding on right now to that slim advantage in a one-score game. And you hear a lot about 2-minute offense and 4-minute offense. Obviously, the 4-minute offense applies here. How do they run that effectively?
Yeah, really what the 4-minute offense is you're just trying to grind the clock. So you want consistent gains, steady gains. Doesn't have to be big plays, but it has to be plays that gets first downs and keeps the ball away from your opponent.
But certainly throwing the ball is in the mix here.
It certainly is. Just make sure that you're careful with it. And again, get those first downs, keep possession of the football.
Under 4 to go now as the clock runs and they come up on second down. They'll run the jet sweep with Brown. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
One of the bigger plays in the game thus far, and the crowd getting into it as we come up on a big third down. Brissett. He's got a man open. It's Hunter Renfrow. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. The play goes for 19 yards. Gives him a new set of downs. Big hook up there, forced to throw it on third down. The connection's going to keep the drive alive and also keep the clock moving.
Yeah, and from a defensive perspective, didn't get a sack, didn't knock the ball free, didn't break up the pass. The clock keeps running on you. You're in a dire situation now.
Well, I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. And in this situation with the lead fourth quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
It's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
Coming up to the line, and they will need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Second and 12. Brissett caught by Wilson. And they
Let's
get it
go.
Across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. Good work after the catch. Good to net him 23 and a first.
What a shit right now.
So it's Raider football as we get you reset. They've got a 1st and 10 as they look to try and finish this one off. On first down, Richard. And give him 6 yards here as he stopped near the 35 at the 34. And now we'll see a timeout used on defense as they stop it right out of the break with 1:57 to go in the ball game. So they come up on second down. If they can get another run like we just saw, we'll likely put an end to this thing. They'll keep it on the ground. Richard. And a short gain down to about the 33. And now with 1:52 to go, we get another pause in the action. A timeout here defensively. Seventh play of the drive now as they come up on a 3rd and 3. Brissett. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. The Browns will quickly use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. So a big one coming now for Daniel Carlson. This from 54 yards away. It's no good as it stands. And this score will stay right where it is. So points so crucial in a tight game like this, but this kick off the goalpost, and that'll keep the score right where it is.
Yeah, it wouldn't have made this a two-score game, but any cushion this late definitely would have helped. Now they need to ask their defense for another stop, and that's going to require some work.
Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. They'll look to throw. That is caught by the former Gator, Antonio Callaway. And it worked across midfield inside the 45. Back to throw. That'll move the sticks for the Browns, a gain of 12. Jarvis Landry, the intended receiver, and that'll bring up second down. So second down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43. He's back to throw. And he's got this one complete to Callaway. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. Back to throw. Gosh, given the time in the short game, would he have been better off just dropping that?
Yeah, when you look at the clock, you think so. But it's hard to get a receiver to drop a football. They're trained to catch everything.
First things first here, they got to pick up the first down.
And remember, it is fourth down, so they've got to pick up a completion here. Otherwise, this one's over.
Here comes an important one now for Austin Seibert. This to almost certainly win the football game. And his kick is good. And it's celebration time on that sideline as they have taken the lead in the final seconds. He hasn't missed a kick all year.
That's crazy.
Why would he start now?
That's a great
Fucking
question.
field goal.
Maybe because that was the most nerve-wracking kick he had to attempt all year. But he knocked it through just like it was an easy chip shot.
And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. Look at the clock. Everyone knows the situation. Probably time here for one final play.
And we know what that
To escape, and he goes
Oh my God.
Well, we saw a close game that kept us on the edge of our seats down to that final whistle. And right before that final whistle, defense with one last exclamation mark there, getting the sack to end.
I love how you phrased it because we were waiting to see what would happen.
Can't win them
Obviously,
all,
we thought
guys.
something would happen downfield. Instead, it happens in the offensive backfield, and that's your ball game.
So for
Fucking one
Cleveland,
point,
it's an
bro.
11th
One
win of the
fucking
year
point.
as they'll finish the regular season at 11-5. And now they'll await the final seeding for the playoffs ahead.
We're
Meanwhile,
tense.
for Oakland,
Ooh,
this
we're
might wind up being a tough pill to swallow as they're going to
now.
finish the season at 9-7. And as
There you go,
division
9-7.
champs, they will host a playoff game next week in the wild card round. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew,